and do what the wise person did. And what you have here is a story of a fool. And this man, I mean, just talking about everything that you could do wrong, he did. And he ends up, his life ends up it's tragic, and it's tragedy. So, Genesis chapter 4, verse 1, it says, Now Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain, and said, I've acquired a man from the Lord. And then she bore again, this time his brother Abel. Now Abel was the keeper of the sheep, but Cain was the tiller of the ground. And in the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought an offering of the fruit of the ground to the Lord, and Abel also brought of the first fruits of his flock and of their fat. And the Lord respected Abel and his offering, but he did not respect Cain and his offering. And Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell. So the Lord said to Cain, Why are you angry? And why has your countenance fallen? And if you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin lies at your door, and its desire is for you, but you should rule over it. Now Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and killed him. And then the Lord said to Cain, Where is your brother Abel? And he said, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? And the voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. So now you are cursed from the earth, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it shall no longer yield its strength to you. A fugitive and a vagabond you shall be on the earth. And Cain said to the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Surely you have driven me out this day from the face of the ground. I shall be hidden from your face. I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond on the earth. And it will happen that anyone who finds me will kill me. And the Lord said to him, Therefore whoever kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark on Cain, lest anyone finding him should kill him. And then Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden. I'm going to stop there. So again, you have a portrait. It's a portrait of a man, essentially a doomed man. And as I said, the first point I'm going to share with you is very positive. From then on, the other 8 are incredibly negative. So the first point is Cain was a gift from God. Remember we talked about that a few weeks ago? Cain was a gift from God. And this is something that everybody's life begins with promise. Everyone. All of our lives begin with promise. And, there's been about 100 billion people born on this earth. That's the estimates are from the time of Adam and Eve. And, when Jesus, and I'm going to share this on Sunday, he said that the gate to heaven is very narrow, and the gate to hell is very wide, and the road to heaven is very narrow, and the road to hell is very wide. So obviously the odds of more people being in hell than heaven, and it's just, again, it's tragic that so many people's lives begin with such promise, and then they end in doom. So if you look at verse 1, it says, Now Adam knew his wife Eve, and she conceived and bore Cain, and said, I have acquired a man from the Lord. She's referring here that Cain was a gift. And then she bore again, this time his brother Abel. Now Abel was the keeper of the sheep and Cain the tiller of the ground. So, they start off, man created in the image and the likeness of God. And we start off with a clean slate, right? We start off with it's a fresh start. It's a new beginning. And so Cain is born, right? He is born in a place of promise. And what happens, Adam and Eve will now teach their children about the Lamb. And remember this, you go back to chapter 3, verse 23, or 3 verse 21. This animal is sacrificed, okay, to provide a covering for Adam and Eve. So they have these 2 boys, and obviously, who better, really think about this, who better than Adam and Eve to teach their children about sin, right? Where it all began. So there's a period here where they're educating their boys on how they are to approach God. And the way to approach God is through the Lamb. Again, the Lamb is the theme, right? It's the theme throughout the Scriptures, right up until the book of the Revelation. Jesus is the Lamb of God who came to take away the sins of the world. All those sacrificial lambs in the Old Testament were foreshadows, okay, of Jesus. And the way they were to come was through the blood of the Lamb. So they were taught that. And that was the main lesson that mom and dad were teaching them. So again, it starts off in promise. They're gifts. He's a gift from God, right? He's in a family, a Christian family, and the mom and dad are teaching them the way, the way of the Lord. So the second thing I want to show you, because from here it goes downhill. The second thing is Cain tries to come to God his own way. He's going to come and he's going to worship God his way, not God's way. He's going to come to God. He's not going to come by the blood. He's not going to come by the lamb. He's going to come his own way. So in verse 3, and in the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought an offering of the fruit of the ground to the Lord. And Abel also brought of his firstborn of his flock, and of their fat. And the Lord respected Abel and his offering, but he did not respect Cain and his offering. And Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell. So again, God had taught, right, Adam and Eve, you approach me by the shedding of the blood. That is how they are to come to the Lord. Now, Cain, let me just say something to you. Man, I was saying this to my son the other day. All mankind are worshipers. You understand? It is something that God put in our hearts. Man is going to worship, right? And whether it is the Buddhist worshiping, or it is the Hindu, or the Muslim, or the person practicing Shinto. And let me say this, even the atheist is a worshiper. What does he worship? Yeah, he worships himself. The humanist, the secularist is the Marxist, right? Who denies that there's an existence of God. They're worshipers. They worship their system. The Marxist system. But everyone they will worship according to their own way. What did Jesus say? John chapter 14, verse 6. He said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." And it's very simple. It's either your way or Yahweh. You get that? Let me get that. It's either your way or Yahweh. And you're either going to do it your way, or you're going to do it the way of Yahweh. And Cain chooses to do it his way instead of the way of Yahweh. And he rejects the blood of the lamb. And this is people following in the steps of Cain. The children of Cain are people who say, you know what? I'm not coming to God his way. I'm doing it my own way. And that's what you have in the world. So he rejects the way of the Lord. He chooses to do his own way. And I'll tell you again, here's a lesson. There's a great life lesson here. You need to come to God according to his way, or you're not coming at all. And you can come in your own self-righteousness. You can make up your own religion. You can try to do it your way. You can join some world religion. By the way, let me tell you, religions are the work of Satan. Just understand that. Oh, religions, no, everything leads to the same God. No, they don't. Religion is Satan's masterpiece. Grace is God's masterpiece. But Satan is the creator of religions. And religions are just a way of deluding people into thinking that they somehow can be saved by doing their own thing instead of coming and receiving the gift that God has given them, which is the Lamb of God who came to take away the sins of the world. So Cain tries to come to God his own way. He tries. It doesn't work. So in verse, in the third thing here, so Cain is angry. He's angry because he's been rejected by God. And here's again a picture of a sinner who refuses God's plan, and then they become angry at God because God has rejected them. And, you look at that, and so it tells us, and Cain was very angry. Verse 5 is the middle of verse 5. And Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell. So what is he doing? He's pouting, he's sulking. Things aren't going his way. And he's having a pity party. Verse 6, so the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry, and why has your countenance fallen?" Now, I want you to see here, God is reaching out to him. You get with God when you're not right with him. Listen to his voice, because he'll start asking you questions. And he's asking questions here. Why are you angry? And why has your countenance fallen? He says, if you do well, will you not be accepted? And he says, and if you do not do well, sin lies at your door. And its desire is for you, but you should rule over it. So here's God. This is God's word to Cain. And understand, right? We have the scriptures today. God's going to speak directly to you from the scriptures. He'll give you, the rhema of God comes directly to us from scripture. How do you hear the rhema of God? What do you need to do to hear the rhema of God? I believe that you should hear it. If you're coming to the Lord the way that he wants you to come, you should hear a rhema from God all the time. It's not it should be something, a once-a-year thing. Only when you come to church. What do we have to do? What is the actual disposition of ourselves, the attitude that we have to bring if we're going to hear it from God and hear a rhema? What? You got to get quiet.
Detach yourself from the world.
What?
Detach yourself
So
from the
that's to
world.
be you've got to get quiet. You've got to get with Him. But the attitude, what's the attitude that has to be? You got to have to come to the Lord with humility.
Mm-hmm.
You got to come in honesty. You got to have an honest look at yourself. Say, hey, I'm unworthy. Like the Pharisee and the tax collector. Pharisee comes. I'm sorry, Gerard, but I'm hot. I'm sinning. So the Pharisee, I'm righteous. I tithe. I do my thing, and then you have the tax collector beats his breast and says, "I'm unworthy. I'm a sinner." Which one does God accept? Right, the one who came in honesty and in humility. You have honesty and humility. There's one other key factor in coming to the Lord to hear His word. What is it? Faith.
There you go.
You got to come in faith. You got to believe that it's the word of God, and you got to believe that He's going to speak to you from His word. If you're not honest, you're not humble, and you're not coming in faith, don't expect to hear, the word spoken to you. Now, I just want to say this to you: God is speaking to Cain. He ain't hearing anything. Why? Because he's not honest. He's not humble. He doesn't have faith. He ain't hearing. God is speaking. This is like, again, I believe God uses His word to speak to us. In that time, there wasn't a Bible. So God is speaking audibly to Cain. Well, if God spoke audibly to me, I'd hear it. No, you won't. Because if you're not honest and you're not humble and you don't have a heart of faith, you're not going to hear it. And you may hear the words, but how many times do you hear people talking to you and you don't really hear what they're saying? Right? Faith listening. He's hearing the words, but he's not receiving. He's not receiving the rhema. And see, again, this is where the logos could be going out. Logos could be going out tonight. But you're not getting a rhema from God because you're not in a place where you're humble and you're honest and you're listening by faith. When you come and you're honest and you're humble and you're listening by faith, that's when the Lord can speak, speak to your heart. So God's calling him. You know what this is? If you look at verse 6, it's God's call of grace.
Amen.
He's giving him a second chance here. So you messed up. You came to me the wrong way, right? You thought you could come to me with fruits and vegetables. You can't. You have to come by the blood of the Lamb. So get it right. Now you can come to me. You can join in, and you can share in the fellowship that Abel's sharing with me. And God this is a word of grace. Cain has been rejected because he chose to come his own way. Right? God is offering now that he can come back. He can repent. Right? And he can get right with God. And this is what happens when we mess up. When we mess up, right, God will come to us and he will offer us a way for us to get right with him again. He offers us a way of repentance. We come to him again. We come to him with that humility. We come to him with that honesty and faith. And all of a sudden we get restored. Cain pushes that off. Cain ain't hearing it. So number 4, Cain kills Abel. So he's angry at God. Understand, he's angry at God. What does he take it out on? By the way, if you're angry at God, you're going to have problems with other people. So he's angry at God. He takes it out on his brother who was created in the image and likeness of God. He can't kill God. Why do people persecute Christians and kill Christians? Because, the enemy can't kill God. The enemy can't hurt God. So what does he do? He goes after the thing that God loves, his children. So why is ISIS killing, ISIS and is killing Christians in the Middle East? Why is Boko Haram killing Christians in Africa and Nigeria? Because the devil is using them because he hates God. And he uses them to persecute and kill what God loves. So in verse 8 it says, Now Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against his brother, and he killed him. He says to him, let's go for a walk, right? It's premeditated murder. Come on, let's go for a walk. Hey, look at these are some fruit trees that I grew, right? And bang. Cain's name means spear. He probably killed him with a spear. And I'll tell you, there's a great lesson here. When things do not go our way, don't fret. And don't complain. Because you're setting yourself up for worse things. And so Cain, what you see here of him killing his brother, actually it started before. He's fretting, he's complaining, and he's whining. Number 5, Cain covers up his sin. So if you look at verse 9, then the Lord said to him, "Where is Abel, your brother?" And what does he say, right? We all know this passage. Geez, I was taught this when I think it was in 4th grade. "I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?" What does he mean by that? Am I my brother's keeper? What is he saying?
Supposed to take care of him.
Yeah, right. What am I supposed to take care of him? What am I supposed to know where he is? So am I supposed to be bothered with him? And I want you to see here. He's covering up, so you can fool a fool. You can even fool yourself. You can't fool God. So God says, geez, where's your brother Abel? Like God, geez, God is up there going, geez, where's Abel? Right? He knows where Abel is. He's dead. His spirit is in paradise. And he knows exactly where he is. So he's asking this question. He's trying to uncover him and to show his guilt and show his sin. And he's caught. I don't know where he is. He knows exactly where he was. He knows where his dead body is. But he is covering up. I just want to tell you something that is very exciting to me about the election. I thought it was really exciting. I don't know. I know there's all this argument about where all the emails came from. The Russians did it, and there's all this debate about that. I don't really care where they come from. I think it's great that they came. I really do. I think it's so great. And I think it's great. I think it's great when Megyn Kelly called out Trump in that first, right? She called him out about the things he was saying about women. And then some of the stuff came out. That guy exposed. He put that stuff out about him saying, he goes around and he grabs him. I think all of that was just so great. Just expose. You expose the two candidates. Which one was more exposed than the other, right? We expose them. Because one day we're all going to be exposed. And we just keep covering up and hiding. Politicians are the worst, right? Right? Just hiding. I thought it was great. I thought it was just great that put all the emails out there. Get them all out there. Let's see the truth. Let's look at it. Let's see all the deception and all the conning and all the lying and all the manipulation. Let's just see what was going on, right? And expose the DNC, right? The DNC with all their corruption. I just thought it was great. I think it's great. I mean, let's have transparency, right? Let's have 100% transparency. I'll tell you what. You want to come and you want to sit with me? I'll show you everything. I'll tell you everything. I think you'll probably be bored. I think after the first few sins that might make your hair sin, I think you're going to be pretty bored with stuff. And it's kind of a boring life. But I think it was great. And ultimately, this is what God's going to do. You want to stand before God. And he's going to expose us all. And that's what he does. That's what he does with Cain. And there's a lesson there about living a transparent life with God. Living a transparent life with the Lord. Okay, number 6. Cain is cursed. And he said, "What have you done?" in verse 10. And again, God knows what he did. Why ask? Because he's trying to bring Cain out of the darkness into the light of judgment. It says, "The voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground." And just when we sin, who do we sin against?
God.
Sin against God. David said in Psalm 51, he said, "Only you have I sinned against." And this is him, God saying, "You sinned against me." What does the 6th commandment say?
Thou shalt not.
Thou shalt not murder.
Murder.
By the way, the 10 Commandments weren't given yet. So how did he know it was a sin? Right? There weren't 10 Commandments. They weren't written on stone. How did he know it was a sin to kill his brother?
Conviction.
What? Yeah, because he wrote it on his heart. Because God has written it on everybody's heart. Way before the law, in the time of Noah, and then you go through the time of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Joseph, God wrote it on people's hearts. People know what's right and wrong. They know what's wrong to kill. So here he kills his brother Abel, and again he has broken that law that God put upon his heart of killing someone who's created in the image and likeness of God. There's again a lesson here: take responsibility for your sins. He refuses to take responsibility for his sins. Verse 11. So now you are cursed from the earth, which opens its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. And when you till the ground, it shall no longer yield its strength to you. A fugitive and a vagabond you shall be on the earth. So it's kind of interesting. The very ground that he was tilling, right, making his fruit grow, right, that's what's cursed. You know what this is saying? Essentially, the judgment that, God, in fact, let me just tell you, when God judges a person, he always hits them where it hurts. Let me just say this to you. As believers, God doesn't judge us, but he disciplines us. And he will discipline you where it hurts. So wherever it hurts, if you have some things right now in your life, he will discipline you where it hurts. And he hits you right where it hurts. And that's what he does with, that's what he does with Cain. Cain's never going to be able to be a successful farmer from now on. He's going to work and it's just not going to happen for him. And God, when we erect idols, God tears them down. I think there probably was some type of idolatry here, again, coming to God with the way he wanted to come, with the fruits of the ground. He tears down the idol. And again, there's a lesson here for all of us that God, our Father, who is loving, is a righteous judge. And he is holy and he is loving, but he is righteous and he is just. And he will hold us accountable. And then number 7, Cain complains. And do you ever notice that people who reject God, who don't want to repent, they complain about God? You ever notice that all the time? Right? The doomed sinner complains against God. They complain against his punishment. It's not fair. And that's what Cain is doing. Verse 13. And Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Surely you have driven me out this day from the face of the ground. I shall be hidden from your face. I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond on the earth. And it will happen that anyone who finds me will kill me. You know what's going to happen on Judgment Day? People are going to stand before God and say, you're not fair. You're not fair. You're so unfair. How can you condemn me? How can you send me to hell? You're so unfair. God's going to say, I kept sending people to you. I kept reaching out to you in my grace. I kept trying to reveal my Son to you. You don't want anything to do with him. You didn't want to come my way. But you're so unfair. And that's exactly what Cain is doing. He refuses to take responsibility for his life. Notice he's, I think, typical, right again, of the unrepentant sinner. Excuses, blame, and he justifies himself. When God is disciplining you, you need to take responsibility for what he's doing in your life. And then I want you to notice here, number 8, Cain receives common grace. And in the midst of all, I want you to understand common grace. He's not receiving forgiveness, but there's a common grace. God still offers grace, a common grace to the sinner. You ever see people who are really hardcore sinners and you wonder, just how come they're doing so well? Right? Do you ever notice that? And by Psalm 73, it's written by that. The sinners are doing well. And in verse 15, and the Lord said to him, therefore whoever kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark on Cain, lest anyone finding him should kill him. Now that mark is a mark to tell people not to kill him. It's an act of God's grace. He's going to spare him in this life. He's going to be condemned and he's going to be sent to hell because he's an unrepentant sinner. But there's a form of common grace here, and even to be put upon a murderer. In fact, God is saying something that people don't have a right to kill Cain. Why? Who has the right to kill Cain?
Only God.
And ultimately, understand, capital punishment is then placed within the state. And that's biblical. That the state has the right of capital punishment, but we do not have the right of capital punishment. As much as, when somebody hurts us or somebody has hurt us badly, we want to kill them. And I can connect with that because that's part of the lower nature. But again, there's a lesson here about God's common grace. By the way, what was the mark that God put on Cain? No one knows. I thought maybe somebody was going to presume. Nobody knows. I read the Old, nobody knows. It's like, what is it? Okay. So there's a lesson again in common grace. I'll tell you something. The common grace of God is great. The amazing grace of God is better. And that's coming to receive that through Jesus Christ. And then the final thing, 9, the 9th point. Cain lives outside of God's presence. And again, it's a picture, the doomed sinner lives outside of the presence of God. Verse 16, and Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. And he is now locked out. He's shut out from God. What happens if Cain repented later on in his life? Could he have come back? Of course he could. Of course he could. He shuts himself off from the grace of God because he will not come according to God's way, according to the blood. So here's just a lesson again in what's being said there. We need to seek the Lord. We need to seek His presence. Don't you just, you're looking for things in your life tonight. You know where you're going to find it? In the presence of God. You're looking for forgiveness. You're looking for healing, right? You're looking for God to provide something material to you. The way we will experience those things is in the presence of God. And we have a great advantage, right, over the unbelievers. We can come boldly into the very presence of God because of what? Because of the grace of God. Just realize that when you're seeking things. Seek Him.
Amen.
Tell people this all the time. Watch people come here, terminally ill people through the years. They come to the church. They've gone to the Catholic Church and they haven't gotten healed, and they've gone to the psychic healer and they haven't gotten healed, and then they come here and they come to the altar and they're praying, they're looking for healing, lay hands on me, do this or that. And let me just, that's good, but they need to seek Jesus. Take Him into your life. Begin to live in His presence. Because He's the one who's going to heal you. But you're looking for some gift from Him. You're looking for something to. It's Him. Get with Him. Because He's the one who can actually He can give to you, right? What you need. Cain is again a picture of somebody cut off. He's cut off from the presence. He's got lots of needs. He's got all kinds of needs right now. He's a mess. Where will he find healing for his soul? The presence of God. But he cuts himself off from the presence of God, so there's nothing. You're going to live out your life. Somebody's not going to kill you. You're going to live out your life, right? You're going to have this mark. People aren't going to come up and kill you. But you're going to live your life separated from man. Separated in the land of Nod, away from my presence, while he needed the presence of God. That's where he would have been restored. That's where he would have been healed. So just, you get a lesson. Sometimes preaching on Judas, preaching on Cain, right? Preaching on Herod. And I preached many messages through the years on these people. It's not always the most pleasurable people to preach on. And I think that the way, again, I always approach it is, you have a bunch of things that they show you that you should not do. Mm-hmm. So don't go the way of a fool. And learn from the wise. But when you're dealing with a fool in the Scriptures, do the opposite of what they do. And there's a bunch of good lessons you can learn from doing the opposite of what he did. Okay? Let me just pray with you. Father in heaven, I just want to ask, Lord,